Okay, so this is another question from the Calculus and Vectors Nelson textbook. This is part of the 1.6 continuity section, which is part of the limits unit. And this is page 53, question number 16, where it says find the constants a and b such that this piecewise function is continuous for the interval between -3 and 0 inclusive. So without further ado, let's begin this question. So we see here that we have three different functions within this piecewise functions. So first we have negative x if x is between -3 and -2. There's also ax squared plus b if x is between -2 and 0. However, they are not inclusive. And we have 6 if x is equal to 0. If we look at the first piece, we see that -2 is included. However, if we look at the second function, we see that -2 is not included. This means that the function is not necessarily continuous for -3 to 0 right now. And the way we'll fix this is by setting those two functions equal to each other to figure out our constants. Likewise, if we look at the second and third function, we'll see that 0 is not inclusive. However, in the third function, 0 is inclusive because we're saying if x is equal to 0, then it'll be 6. And the way we'll fix that is just by setting the second function ax squared plus b equal to 6. Then we'll be able to figure out our constant. So let's set up that right now. First of all, we can start off with -2. So we can say for x is equal to -2, we must set -x equal to ax squared plus b. Then we can go ahead and plug in -2 everywhere we see an x. We can then simplify this. The two negatives will just cancel each other out, leaving us with 2 equals 4a plus b. Now we can move on to when x is equal to 0. So for x is equal to 0, we will set ax squared plus b equal to 6. Now we will plug in 0 everywhere we see an x. So a times 0 squared plus b is equal to 6. The first term will just cancel out, leaving us with b is equal to 6. We can now take this b is equal to 6 and plug it back into the first equation. This will lead us to 2 equals 4a plus 6. Bringing the 6 over to the other side, we get 2 minus 6 is equal to 4a. This gives us -4 is equal to 4a, and dividing both sides by -4, we get a is equal to -1. Therefore, as a concluding statement, we can say that the function is continuous for the interval -3 to 0 inclusive when a is equal to -1 and b is equal to 6. Therefore, that would be your concluding statement. Hope that's helpful.